Welcome to SIRA MCQ YouTube channel. Today we discuss Advanced Level A-Level Accounting Paper 2024 question number 46. This is related to theory part. Look here, what are the requirements? The following cost items, there are cost items there A, B, C, D, relates to firm, okay, which assembles bicycle. Look here, assemble meaning connecting. Look here, assemble meaning connecting, connect some parts, okay. Assembling bicycles using imported components. Component means items, okay. They connecting some imported items, okay, items. Classify each of the cost items as direct or indirect and variable or fixed. We select direct or indirect and variable or fixed. There is a various cost categorization, okay. There is a bicycle assembling company. This is connecting the spare parts or other parts, okay. Let's see the first one. Firstly, I select direct or indirect. After that, we identified variable or fixed, okay. Let's see. Cost of tires and tubes. Is that directly contribute to bicycle? Yes, we can see directly tires and tubes are included into the bicycle. Therefore, this is direct. This is direct cost. We can directly see it, no? Tires and tubes. Let's see. Next one. Monthly wages of assembly workers. Monthly wages, assembly workers. This is connecting persons, okay. Directly or indirect? Direct. Why? There's assembling is the main category, main task of this process. Therefore, the main task done by the assembly workers. Therefore, this is direct. There's a direct labor cost, no? Direct labor cost. Therefore, we can identify as direct. Next one. Monthly salary of the assembly division supervisor. This supervisor is not directly contribute to the assembling task. Why? He is supervising this work. Therefore, this is indirect cost. You know at the categorization of cost of production, supervision cost, supervisor salary was included in production overhead cost. Production overhead means indirect, okay. Let's see, this is indirect cost. Indirect cost. Next one. Cost of grease and oil. This is the very crucial point. Cost of grease and oil we used to assemble a bicycle. At that time, this is we can see the oil and grease are included in the bicycle. Why? There are oils and grease are directly included to the bicycle. There are changing parts. We included oil and greases. Therefore, we can think what is that? Directly included this oil and grease. We can think this is the direct cost. Why? Directly included in the bicycle. But this grease and oil are not material. Why? The grease and oil are the cost of this grease and oil included to the one bicycle. Cost of grease and oil included to the one bicycle is very small value. Therefore, this is grease and oil are directly included to the bicycle, but this value is very small value. Therefore, at the small, there's a materiality concept. We must categorize this directly included small amount of this grease and oil indirect. Why? The amount is very small, therefore we remove from direct cost. Okay, therefore we identify indirect cost. Okay, why? This is a value of this grease and oil was very small value, therefore we identified indirect cost. Okay, therefore we can identify as a indirect cost. Okay, therefore indirect cost. Okay, let's see, there's a variable or fixed. Next, you must identify what is the variable or fixed. This is the number of units, number of units. Units is a bicycle, no? This is the one bicycle. Okay, this is the second bicycle. Okay, this is the total cost. How can we identify the variable cost? Look here, number of units should be, this is the 2, this is, we can identify there are 2. There are one bicycle, there are 2 bicycles. How can we identify there are 2 bicycles? Okay, production. Look here, total cost, number of units. The variable cost is variable cost is based on the number of units. Total cost should be increased based on the number of units. The number of units are increasing, the cost is increasing. This is variable. Look here, number of units increasing, at that time the increasing of number of units, cost should be increased. Therefore look here, there is 1,000 cost should be incurred to the one bicycle. At the 2 bicycle, the total cost is 2,000. This is the variable cost. Why? Number of units should be increased, this total cost should be increased. At that time, this is the variable cost. This is the variable cost identification, this area. Okay, how can we identify fixed cost? This is the fixed cost. This is related to this one. This is the total cost. Look here, there are a number of units are one product. The total cost is 3,000. Total cost at the production level of one number of units. After that, we increase into 2 bicycles. Total cost must be no change. This is the fixed cost. Why? The total cost should be not variable. Why? Number of units are increasing, but total cost should be stable, fixed. Okay, this is the variable cost. Why? The cost should be increased based on number of units. This is the theory part. Look here, what are the examples we must identify? Cost of tires and tubes. Variable or fixed? Cost of tires and tubes. One tire, no, 2 tires. Okay. At the production of one bicycle, there are 2 tires. Cost is 1,000. Okay, 1,000. At the production level of 2 bicycles, number of tires, there are 4 tires should be included. Therefore, based on the production levels are increasing, tires and tubes should be increased. Why? The production level is 3, you must be include 3 bicycles, tube and tires. Okay, there are 1,000 bicycles, there are increasing. How many? 1,000 tires and tubes. You should be 2,000. No, tubes should be included. Therefore, tires and tubes are variable cost based on the increasing of number of units, tires and tubes cost should be increased. Why? Every bicycle include two tires and tubes. Therefore, the number of units should be increased based on the number of units. Cost is increasing tires and tube. Why? Every bicycle want tires and tubes. Therefore, this is the variable cost. This is the variable cost. Again, based on the number of units are increasing, cost should be increased. Okay, this is the cost of tires and tubes are variable cost. Next one, variable cost. Monthly wages of assembly workers. Monthly wages means monthly salary. This is not changed based on the number of units. This is a monthly salary. The bicycle's number of units you produce are 2000, but monthly salary is stable. The number of units are produced 2 bicycles. Monthly salary are stable. He get a salary based on monthly, not the number of units. Number of units are variable, vary, but cost should be stable. Why? Monthly salary, only monthly salary we give him. Okay, next, therefore this is the fixed cost. Fixed. Next one, monthly salary of assembly division supervisor. Monthly salary, there is a number of units are changing, but based on the number of units, number of bicycles, cost not change. Therefore, monthly salary, only he can get only monthly salary. 60,000, no? 60,000 every month, every time 60,000. Okay, therefore this is the fixed. Cost of grease and oil. This is the variable cost. Why? One bicycle we include one bicycle's grease and oil. You increase the 2 bicycles, the production, every bicycle you should be again and again include grease and oil. Therefore, based on the number of units increase in grease and oil, cost should be increased. Why? Every bicycle you should again and again include grease and oil. Therefore, this is a variable. Why? You purchase a grease and oil bucket. Using this grease and oil bucket, can you fulfill the grease and oil requirement of 1000 bicycles? You cannot. Every one by one, your grease and oil should be increased. Why? Every number of units, now one by one you should include grease and oil. Therefore, variable cost. Why? Grease buckets should be purchased to fulfill the grease and oil requirement. Therefore, this is the variable cost. Based on the number of units, cost should be increased. Therefore, this is variable. This is the answer. In next video we meet question number 47. It's a manufacturing related company question. In next video we meet question number 47.